I've had people come to our city from other places and they're like, what is wrong with this place? Like, it's like jumping back into the 1950s because it's blatant, like you see it, but then when you deal with something like the concept of West Michigan nice, then it kind of makes you scratch your head. But I think that speaks to the danger of like covert racism. So in the book, they refer to it as managerial racism as well. We're good at like having a convening of the minds, talk about the issue, say we're going to do something about it, but then nothing really happens. Again, that's why this book is so cool. It talks about that in the book. Like, that has been a strategy of people in positions of power in our city for a very long time. It's like, yeah, like pacify the issue. So you can't say that we're not doing anything about it because we put together a work group or a committee.
I always wondered, when I was in Central, why everybody was my friend when I was doing good on the football field and the track field. But then when we went down to the hub in Grand Rapids, we had a place where everybody rode around at and talked and got along, or thought was getting along. And white folks wouldn't even speak to us after we left school.
But so these are friends
they were friends during the school day.
You say you want to go to college, or you guys don't go to college. Some sports, you guys don't play baseball in high school. You play basketball, football, and run track. You're not, so leave the other sports alone. That's for the other kids.
Growing up, very little encouragement to achieve. As adults and going to universities, we learned more about achievement and came back into this arena and tried to help others. So John's been here most of his life and traveled out of it. I've been here most of mine. But a lot of them who leave don't come back. But then they find greener pastures. My brother's in Seattle, no thoughts of coming back. And I've asked them repeatedly. They cannot relate because they remember what they grew up under. And that pressure is eased in other places like Seattle, my daughter in Atlanta. It's more open and more receiving of people.
All the forces of nature don't come against other people's when they seek to achieve.
Okay.
When we seek to achieve, it immediately starts a chain reaction. We can't let them. Because it's almost as if we achieve, the whole balance of the economic system will change. If you black and come out of Grand Rapids, you can probably pretty much make it anywhere, because I think the levels of racism is that insidious. Even how blacks were forced to, in many ways, participate in their own mistreatment.
We had an institution established by 4 brothers who had actually been in the military. They rented a house in the middle of the neighborhood on Jefferson near Delaware. I was walking down the street one day, came back from California, and they knew my older brother, called me into this house. So I go into the house, because they're big guys. I walked in and I almost passed out because books were everywhere, shelves of books. I go in and peruse and I see books written by Africans, and I didn't know Africans could write books because nobody had told me. One of the first books I read was Dying Colonialism, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I had my first introduction to colonialism and what it was and how it was impacting people around the world. The Free Store probably turned most of us on to our awareness of being African people and not Negroes, and that we had connections to the continent, and that we had a history beyond enslavement. So it was the pivotal place to go in Grand Rapids. Most of our families literally disowned us because we were coming home with this black talk, which was dangerous in America, dangerous anywhere you were, including Grand Rapids. But my education began there, And from there, they couldn't stop me. And then I went to Nubia to find the roots of education in Central Africa. So the Black People's Free Store, most powerful institution ever developed in the city of Grand Rapids, in my view. 1967.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's a reality. So until you can come to terms with the reality, we're not going to move forward. It doesn't make you a bad person because of what happened historically, but it does make you a bad person if you know that it happened, you ignore it, and then you're not doing anything to fix it. And I think, and this is my own personal opinion, I think a lot of people don't want to know about this issue in its entirety because now you don't have deniability anymore. You can't unlearn something.
I actually called him about 2 weeks, must have been 2 weeks ago. I asked you about this book. Who is Todd Robinson? But I understand he's not from here, and this is dissertation work. Yeah, because I was wondering who he was, you know, so I got to get it.
We both got it.
Yeah, I got to get this book.
We'll discuss
Yeah,
it.
yeah.